So, as always, I invite you to close your eyes if you feel like it and just get in the mood here. And tonight's warm up is actually going to be a little story, and I haven't told it before, so I hope it comes out okay. So, let's just together spend a half a minute or so taking note of the breaths we are receiving, and maybe just using that as a means to become a little more present. All right, so in my life, not surprisingly, I have about somewhere around a dozen-ish people with whom, maybe a dozen and a half, with whom I have friend relationships, and also we do official spiritual workout work from time to time. And I had one of those sessions the other day with somebody, and it was so impactful from my perspective, um, and really illuminating. And yet, there's nothing new in this story. But the way it unfolded is this person was really just wound up. And by wound up, I just mean holding a lot of stress and tension and sadness. And the basic issue was moving from that place of existing into that place of living and feeling paralyzed for all manner of reasons, and stuck in the existing place and really doubting whether or not the living piece could ever happen. And it was the kind of session where honestly I could have easily seen 20 minutes of tapping just to be able to get to where we could talk, tapping to just help the person relax and clear out some of the static. And then she mentioned a poem that she was surprised I didn't know. You shouldn't be surprised if I don't know something in literature, because New Jersey public schools, that's all I'm going to say. So she dug out this poem from her bag. I got it on her phone, I believe, and began to read it. And no sooner did she begin to read it than she was, I don't want to say overwhelmed, that's not the right word. She was just emotional. All the emotion was coming up, and as a result of her starting to read this poem, and I encouraged her to keep reading it. And frankly, I don't know what the hell the poem was about, but it was obviously meaningful to her. And for those of you who've had any experience here in spiritual workout world and know that we talk a lot about the listen to inspiration concept, I was just sitting back and marveling at how utterly, truly connected this person was at this moment to what I would say herself, her higher self, her soul, God, her spirit guides, fully aligned. I always say, never miss an opportunity to cry. Oftentimes people, and even her in this situation, wanted to squelch that part, but she couldn't even if she wanted to. And so what we were able to get to without having to do any tapping and without having to have any other real conversation was to talk about what that feeling is. What is it that makes a person read a poem and become so touched in their heart space that it just kind of takes over everything? And that in that moment, she'd already done all the work. If going from I'm existing and I want to find a way to live into actually living is all about following one's passion and getting rid of beliefs that don't align with the passion and the intention, and setting that shiny, clear intention, foot on the gas and foot on the brake, and dealing with all that as we do all the time. And yet here she was, totally, fully in it, totally, fully, utterly, completely aligned with truth. None of us sees or experiences anything out there in the world and isn't touched by it. Or when that happens, that is truth. That is just truth. That's full alignment. So I encourage you always, when those things happen, to just revel in it. And mostly where our conversation went was about how easy it is to get into that place, and then all the work is done from that place. That's where the intentions come from. And we were able to talk about some beliefs and this and that, and for a while longer. But something that I thought, had we been going the way we were going, might have taken a few hours, honestly, not that we would have done it all at once, to get to where we got to, she got to in an instant and didn't need me at all. What she needed was some understanding of what that is. What she needed was to learn to trust that that is inspiration. And what she needed was to learn to get comfortable with the idea that that is alignment, the way we talk about alignment, and ultimately to get comfortable with her light in a way that, I was going to say matches, but really supersedes her comfort with the dark, which again was part of the initial conversation, that uncomfortable, comfortable place that we often get stuck in. So I just thought it would be nice in our warm-up tonight to share that story, to therefore emphasize, underscore, underline that with all the talking we do, all the working out, all of the intention setting, all of the fishing for beliefs and rooting out the non-serving ones, not to mention taking responsibility and being present and all the other skills, that fundamentally this is where it all lives. And that when we, as spiritual beings having a human experience, can connect with our true essence, with our soul, with the light of who we are, the being parts of the human beings we are, that's where it all happens. I know you know that. And this is a reminder that it doesn't always have to be an arduous journey to go those 12 inches or so from the head to the heart. So, if you will, another nice deep breath all together. Come back as you're ready, and let's see what we got tonight.